So today I'm going to talk you through stocks and shares ISAs, lifetime ISAs, and self-invested personal pensions or SIPPs. We're going to talk through all the differences between them so that you can make a decision about what feels right for you. This is the Looking After Your Pennies YouTube channel. My name's Charlotte Jessup and I'm really excited to talk to you about ISAs, LISAs, and SIPPs today. First up, before I get started, I just want to say that none of this is a recommendation and none of this is advice. This is just me explaining the differences between each of these products so that you can go out and make more informed choices about what is right for you. Each of the products I'm talking about today involves investing. So you should know that when you're investing, your money can go up and it can go down. And normally it does a bit of both. So be prepared when you put your money into these things that you might see some ups and you might see some downs. But again, make the choices that are right for you. So what we're going to go through today is each of these different things. We're going to talk about stocks and shares ISAs, we're going to talk about lifetime ISAs, and we're going to talk about pension options. So when we're making decisions about what we want to do in terms of our future and looking forward to retirement and things like that, a lot of us are trying to make financial decisions that mean that we have enough money. And each of these options allows us to save money or invest money into these accounts or plans and have money into the future. But deciding which ones are right for us can be a big decision. So I'm going to talk to you through each of these three options today so that you can have a clearer understanding about what they offer and whether or not that might be the right choice for you. So first up, let's talk about stocks and shares ISA. So this is part of the spectrum of ISAs that are available here in the UK, and it is just a form of investing, but it comes in a tax-free wrapper. So this particular choice is good for you. So you might have an investment account already, but you will have to pay tax on that, on any capital gains that you make, any money that you make through that account. So if you have a stocks and shares ISA instead, that is free from capital gains tax. Now it does come with a limit on the amount that you can put in there. At the time of recording this, it was £20,000 per year. So that means you can pay £20,000 per year into that account, and any money that you make on that £20,000, you won't have to pay tax on. So that's the most you can put into that account. You can't go over that. If you're looking to invest more than that, you'll have to look at either a general investment account or one of the other products I'm talking about today. But please know, and as you'll see in my little grid, there's got a little asterisk next to it, that a LISA is considered an ISA and is part of your £20,000 limit. I'll talk more about that when I speak about lifetime ISAs in just a second. So a stocks and shares ISA is there for people who are looking to invest for any event in the future. There is no government bonus. So the government's not going to give you anything for paying into that account. It's because of its flexibility. There are no limits on when you can make withdrawals, but it means that there's no top-ups, okay? So like some of the other products I'm going to talk about in a minute, they get some bonuses. There's none of that with stocks and shares ISAs. Your bonus is kind of the fact that you're not going to get taxed on it because it's all in the ISA tax-free wrapper. So with stocks and shares ISAs, you need to be at least 18 to open these, but you can open them at any time in your life. You're only allowed to have and pay into one at any one time. So if you want to move, you'll need to look at moving your money or making sure that you're only paying into one per tax year. If you are under 18, there are junior stocks and shares ISAs that you can open. These have different limits of pay that you can pay into, but they're a good option if you're thinking about investing for your child, or maybe you're 16 or 17 and want to start thinking about investing in the future. That is an option for you as well. But an adult stocks and shares ISA, you have to be 18 or over to open that, but you can be as old as you like when you're thinking about opening that as well. Now, the great thing about stocks and shares ISAs is that you can access that money at any time. So you could start investing when you're 18, pay into that for 10 years and then take it out when you're 28. If you've got nothing there, you can retire off it and do what you like. There are no limits to when you can access that money. So it's a great choice for people who are thinking about investing or wanted to retire earlier than the traditional retirement ages. So if you're thinking about retiring in your 40s or 50s, then investing through a stocks and shares ISA could be the way to do that. Particularly if you're going to be looking at investing under that £20,000 limit, then it's the perfect choice for you. So next up, let's look at the lifetime ISA. Now, there are two options with the lifetime ISA. There is a cash version, which is essentially just a savings account. So you can get a lifetime ISA and you can pay and you can hold that money in cash. Or there is a stocks and shares version of the lifetime ISA. So this means that you can open it up, you can invest your money, and you can still access some of the benefits. It is an ISA. So as I said in the previous section, any money that you pay into your lifetime ISA comes out of the $20,000 total that you're allowed to pay in any of the ISAs. There are 4 types of ISA. There are cash ISAs, stocks and shares ISAs, lifetime ISAs, and innovative finance ISAs. And that £20,000 is shared across all of them. It is tax-free though, so any money that you make in your lifetime ISA, you will not have to pay tax on. So just like a stocks and shares ISA, there is no tax to be paid on anything that you pay into a lifetime ISA. The maximum annual contribution, so the maximum amount of money that you can pay into your lifetime ISA in 1 year is £4,000. So this will come out of your £20,000. So you could pay the full £4,000 into your lifetime ISA, and then that would mean you have £16,000 left to put in your stocks and shares ISA or into a cash ISA. So make those decisions according to what feels right for you. Now, there's one thing to be said about lifetime ISAs that doesn't completely fit on this grid, and there are 2 uses for your lifetime ISA. So the first one is that you can use it to buy your first home. So you can open a lifetime ISA with the view to using that money to buy your first home. You could also open a lifetime ISA with the view of using that as a retirement top-up, as a little bit of money to have in your old age. Now, you have to have your lifetime ISA open for 1 year before you use it. So if you're looking at buying a house in the next year, then it might not be the right choice for you. But if you're looking at doing it for retirement, then it's probably something that is worth thinking about. Now, the real benefit of having a lifetime ISA is that it comes with a government bonus. So you can get a 25% bonus on anything you pay into your lifetime ISA per year. So if you're maxing that out and you're putting the full £4,000 into there every year, the government will top that up with an additional £1,000. So you can get £1,000 every year from the government into your lifetime ISA. And that's in addition to any of the interest or capital gains that you might make from investing that money or saving that money in a bank. So that's an extra bonus. There are some rules about lifetime ISAs though. For example, there's no junior version of a lifetime ISA. You have to be at least 18 years old to open it. And you have to be under 40. So if you are still on, this side of 40, like me, then now is a good time to open your lifetime ISA. Once you turn 40, you're not going to be able to access that. The government will pay out that bonus, all the while you're paying in, obviously, up to your 50th birthday. So kind of the sooner you start paying into this, the more money that you can get out of the government. They will stop at 50, and then if you are using that to pay for retirement, you won't be able to access that until you turn 60. So if you're using it to buy your first home, and there are lots of rules about what constitutes your first home, so make sure you look those up before choosing this product. But if you're looking to access it as a retirement option or to top up your pension, then this is only accessible when you turn 60. So the government pay the bonus till you're 50, and then you can access that when you're 60. Obviously, if you've gone for the stocks and shares version, the investment version of the lifetime ISA, it can still be making money in that kind of like 10-year gap, but you won't get any bonus from the government for paying more in. Now, the last one to talk about is the self-invested personal pension. Now, before I talk about this in too much detail, I just want to say that pensions are obviously a great choice, and when you look at the state pension, for a lot of us that is not going to cover our outgoings or the lifestyle that we want to afford in retirement. So having another pension product is highly recommended. If you are in employment and your employer offers you a pension option, then it's probably in your best interest to choose to make the maximum contributions in that before you look at paying into a SIPP. The reason for this is that when you pay into a company pension, your company will pay in something too. So this means you are not only using your money for your pension, but you're using your employer's money too. So it's a good idea to look into that first to make sure you are getting the most money paid into your pension possible. If you're already doing that and you're looking for another option, then you can start looking into SIPPs and the benefits that you have there. But always look into your employer's pension first to make sure that you are getting the best deal possible from them. So let's talk about SIPPs and what they offer. So first up, they are tax-free in terms of capital gains tax. So the money that you pay into your pension is tax-free. However, when you go to draw down that pension, that is considered as income. So you will be paying tax on that like anybody else pays tax on income. So yes, the money while it's in there is tax-free, which means it can grow fairly quickly, but you need to watch out because actually there is tax paid on it when you withdraw it at the end for part of your retirement finances. When it comes to how much you can actually pay into your pension, the maximum amount that you and your employer, so this is across kind of all your pensions options, is £40,000 per year. But that really does depend on how much you're earning. So that's kind of like the maximum, but there are other rules that might mean that your maximum is lower than that. I hope that makes sense, but please look into it. It depends on how much you earn. So it's pretty much worked out, but the maximum that you earn, so if you're earning 30,000, you can put your whole salary into there, but you won't be able to put any more than that in. So it's a maximum of £40,000. So if you're earning over that, then your maximum is still 40. If you're earning under that, then the maximum is whatever you've earned in that year. So let's look at actually what are the benefits of paying into a pension. So obviously this is an investment plan. It's something you can invest into. So you will be able to grow your money as an investment strategy. But also, if you are paying into a pension, it comes with tax relief. So this means that the government will top up your pension in tune of the amount of tax that you have paid. So for most people, this is 20%. If you're a higher taxpayer, then there is an additional payment that you can get. It's not the same as the amount of tax that you've paid, but there is an additional bonus if you are paying more. So you need to look into this to your personal situation, but you do get this tax relief. So that means if you pay £80 from your money in and you get the 20% tax relief from the government, that means that your total paid into your pension will be £100. So you only have to use £80 of your post-tax money, but you get £100 into your pension pot. So it's a great way of topping up your investments without actually having to use any more of your after income tax money. So how old do you have to be to open a SIPP? So again, these start at 18 plus. However, there are junior pensions options. So if you have a child and you want to save for their pension and their retirement, then you can open an account on their behalf. But for most people, if you're an adult, as long as you're 18 or over, you can open a SIPP. However, the important thing to remember about pensions is that you can't access them until you are much closer to retirement age. So at the moment, you have to be about 55 to access your pension, your SIPP. But that is looking to move up to 57 in 2028, and it might even go higher if you're young and you're watching this. Then the rules are likely to change as the years go on. So it's well worth remembering if you're opening a SIPP for yourself that is money that you will not be able to access until you're at least in your 50s. And particularly if you're thinking about doing this for a child, if you want them to be able to use that money for, say, buying their first home or university, then you might want to look at other routes for saving or investing your money, because a SIPP is just for retirement planning and pensions, and there are age limits on that. So those are the basics of these three options. What the main things that you need to consider is how much you are looking to put into these investment strategies, whether or not you want to get any of the bonuses, so the tax relief or the 25% bonus from the lifetime ISA, and what age you are going to want to withdraw or use these funds. So if you are looking at something for retirement, then it is perfectly acceptable to be thinking about pensions if you're looking at retiring in your 50s. However, if you're looking at retiring when you're younger than 50 or even in your early 50s, then you might want to look at investing in a stocks and shares ISA so you have some money to make up the difference. As I've said, this is all about you and your personal situation. I cannot tell you what to go for. I'm just here to give you the information so that you can go out and make some informed decisions and ask some more questions if you need to. I hope this has been useful in explaining the differences and explaining some of the benefits and downsides to some of these options. Thank you for watching this video. I'd love it if you could hit subscribe so you can receive notifications about future videos, and Don't forget to hit like and leave me a comment. Which of these products do you have? Are there any things that I should be mentioning about these products that I haven't included in this video? I would love your feedback, so leave it below, and I hope to see you in the next video.